What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a good day. A couple things. First, no videos this Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to stick with that going forward. Take the weekends off, rest up, recharge the batteries, deliver maximum energy during the Monday through Friday daily videos. Secondly, hit the like and subscribe button of this video. That helps me out a lot, especially the subscribe button. Third, as I've been mentioning, I'm now on Twitter and posting very regularly, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Follow me there at Ben Crypto Show or just Ben Crypto. I'm enjoying it very much. Big news of the week in the markets. Consensus obviously going on. This is the biggest crypto conference in the U.S. every year. I think they're about equal size as Bitcoin Miami. Consensus has been around longer. It's had a huge positive price pump in the markets in 2017. It started the whole bull run there. That's what it's famous for. Since then, it hasn't had too much of an effect one way or the other. Everyone looks like they're having a good time. It's Crypto NDO running the CoinDesk show with a bunch of guys. Rand Nooner, let's see, what is he up to? He's having problems with his hotel. Let's see, flies first class from halfway around the world. Now the 4-star hotel he's staying at in Austin. Worst hotel experience he has had in years. 2 airlines to check in, no room service, empty minibars, $7 fee to receive a package, phone's never answered, TRDL. Crypto Unicorn, flying first class to some conference in Belgium. It's the old, I'm going to take a picture of something else, but really, flying first class. Then there's Nikita Saktev, if that's how you pronounce it. She takes a different approach. She's like, I ain't hiding anything. I'm flying first class. My first class is better than yours. I'm going to rock it. Peace out, bitches. And then there's Moon Caro, who's just kind of confused about everything, sort of like me. So about 7 hours ago, he posted this stuff on his Twitter. He's flying commercial, not first class. He's flying coach, not his usual style. He's reminiscing on the bull market days where he's flying first class. And then just like an hour ago, he deleted this. I wish I had taken a screenshot. He posted a totally different tweet where he just bought a $1 million bag, like a luxury bag or something. Was getting ready to just kind of fire it into the presentation, and then he deleted the tweet. So yeah, I'm with you, Carl. I'm confused. What is the trendy thing of the day? Is it you're spending a lot of money, you're not spending a lot of money, you have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of money? We are in a bear market, so maybe, not spending a lot of money is the trendy thing, but it's conference time and everyone else is flying first class, and maybe that's the trendy thing. I cannot keep it straight. It's just too difficult to follow. Normally I'd say all this kind of tweeting here, this posting might be demonstrative of we're at the top of a market and it's going to come down, like right here. Unfortunately, I can't say that. We're at the bottom, so I don't really know what to make of all this behavior here. It's good Twitter, very entertaining. That is for sure. I have not. Anyone else noticed there's 2 kinds of influencers. There's the people who are at all the conferences, like the media personalities, every big conference they're at. It's like the spokesperson, the voices of crypto, and then there's just the hardcore analysts. People just markets 24/7. Everything's about the price action. Both equally important, both good. I definitely fall into the analyst category 100%, but I have noticed everyone in crypto sort of falls into one category or the other, not both. Now going back to this here, the Crypto NDO post. So this was interesting. I'm not too familiar with this guy at Real Crypto Face 1, but I guess this picture here was a partial face reveal, and this is becoming big, as we all know. Twitter, especially in crypto Twitter, a lot of people are anonymous. I don't really know for what reasons. Maybe some people think if their face is out there, they're going to get robbed of their crypto or hackers are going to target them. I have no idea. I think it's a little bit outdated myself, the whole anonymous thing. It was like 2014 crypto. But yeah, so I guess this picture in the comments, this was a big deal. He revealed his face. He wasn't fully anonymous beforehand. He had this as his profile pic, so just his eyes were showing, nothing else. So he was like a 20% reveal beforehand. Then, now he's showing the rest of his face, but he has the shades on. So he went up to, now he's showing like 80%. So it's a partial face reveal. He goes from like a 20% reveal to an 80% reveal. As we all remember, this was started a couple weeks ago. Mistress Pump, she is an innovator in the space, an innovator in the science of pumps, pump architecture. But she innovated, this was the first time I saw this of anyone, the face reveal or the partial face reveal. She used to be fully anonymous, this right here. Then about 2 weeks ago, she does a partial face reveal, eyes down. So this is like a 60-70% reveal here. So she got the ball rolling, and now Real Crypto Face 1 did the same thing. Now, could this go big? Could this go regular? And then I was talking to my friend the other day, and he says in his industry on Twitter, a separate industry, the face reveal is actually utilized to build up your followers. Yeah, you'll probably see a bunch of people do the semi-cheesy giveaways, retweet this, like this, they'll give you $100. It's kind of cheesy, whatever. But I like this idea. So you do if you have like 100,000 followers, you say, okay, if I get up to 120,000 followers by next week, I will reveal my face. And I guess it works. In his industry, people are quickly getting 10, 20, 30,000 followers. It's fucking revolutionary. It's risky, though. I mean, like Plan B, for example, 1.8 million followers. If he tried to hype up a face reveal, his follower count might go down. Some people might be like, no, we don't want to see your face. No. See, he might lose some followers. But then other people would go huge, like Altcoin Gordon. I would love to know what this guy looks like. There's no one in the space. Great, funny posts. For some reason, there's just no one in the space. I'm more curious about what they look like than this guy right here. I think if he did a hyped up face reveal, he's good at this stuff. He could go from 430,000 followers easily to 600,000-700,000 followers. So I think the face reveal to build your Twitter following could go big. I'm always looking to innovate in the space. Start doing that, everyone. I think it could be the next big thing. No more cheese. If you're going to do a giveaway, it's got to be at least $1,000, nothing less than that. $100, $200. It just looks kind of cheesy. So don't make the giveaways cheap, but I think the face reveal, I think that's going to go big. Let's go to the market. So not a great day, 29,000. This was 100% due to inflation, CPI. So every month the CPI reading, that's the monthly inflation reading versus the prior year 1 month period it comes out. And every year, as you probably know, every month, as you notice, it's just gone up and up. So now it's 8.6% this May versus last May. It rose 8.6%. Last month, it rose 8.3% from April of this year to April last year, and every month it just keeps setting a new record. So, I mean, in my opinion, by now, the crypto market should be sort of shrugging this news off. It should not be having this down 3-4% effect on the market. It's getting kind of annoying. I don't really know why. I mean, this tells me that it's, the market right now, it's kind of more than just the inflation problems. I think it just comes down to the retail traders are just not yet stimulated. They're on Twitter a lot. They're doing their airdrops, all that stuff. Just in terms of searching for the altcoins, putting their money into that, I think they just need to be reading about crypto for a couple months in terms of a upward movement sense. Like every week they read, okay, crypto went up 5% today, 3% yesterday, 7% today, this new altcoin Moon, this guy made so much money. I think they need to be reading a couple months of those articles before they dive in. So I think we might have to just somehow get up to like 40,000, 45,000 before the retail traders come in all at once and then kick the prices to the next level. But how we're going to get up to 40,000, I have no idea, because the market's just by now should be shrugging off this inflationary news. I don't know why it's not. Moving on. So this was the big news of yesterday. So the SEC... so it looks like they kind of changed their strategy. Earlier in the week, they announced they're going after Binance, and then that was received not too positively by people both in the crypto industry and not in the crypto industry. So then they kind of changed the strategy. This appears to be received a little more positively by everyone, crypto or not, or at least, received in a more acceptable manner. Now they're going to go after Kwon and Terra and investigate them. I guess the gist of this says on Watcher Guru. So they put out this press release yesterday saying that I guess $80 million a month in Terra Luna coins in the months previously were being siphoned off to separate wallets to pay operating expenses. So this is kind of wishy-washy here, because in the tokenomics, the white papers for a lot of coins, I haven't checked Terra's to be honest, but in most coins, they have an amount for the treasury. Sometimes they have a separate amount for the marketing and operational expenses. Sometimes it's all rolled into one. But regardless, the treasury coins, those are designed to pay the salaries and, corporate rent expenses and travel expenses and all that stuff. So that's what the money's for. So if it was a huge coin. They have a lot of money. So if he was just moving 80 million a month to secret wallets to pay for their operating expenses, then that's normal. That's not really moving into secret wallets. That's not anything illegal, but it's sort of the unwritten rule. I mean, the SEC and any law enforcement, they can't be sort of policing this stuff right and left. Are the corporate expenses, are they actually spent on business-related expenses, or is some of it sort of little dipping your hands in the cookie jar, spending it on personal expenses, but you're not going to cut. The rule of thumb is that stuff, to a certain extent, probably goes on a lot. It can't be policed unless shit hits the fan, and then you have an implosion like Terra. Then you better believe the SEC and multiple law enforcement agencies are going to be scrutinized. That's the main thing they're probably going to be scrutinizing, exactly where every single dollar of the operating expenses money went. And you would have to assume in a case like this, at least some of it is, probably sort of wishy-washy, not really business-related expenses, not the gist of it, not the most of it, but a little bit. And then that's how these investigations work. So the headline was a little bit anonymous, and there's also they use the term money laundering here, which I'm not really sure if this is money laundering. It's more of just they're looking into misappropriation of business expenses, where the business expenses spent on strictly business stuff like travel to booking tables at conferences and travel expenses for the team to go and market that stuff, or was some of this money spent on personal expenses like a team member just taking a personal vacation or buying a car, saying that's very illegal. So whether Terra was doing that, I don't know. Pretty sure it goes on a lot, but the SEC, you can bet they will get to the bottom of that. And if there was any of that going on, then yeah, Terra will definitely be charged for that, I would have to predict. And then also, so Watch a Guru, they sort of release a lot of these sort of TMZ-esque sounding, sort of scandalous articles. Generally, they're accurate, not 100% of the time. So a case in point, in this article, they also took this picture down, and they didn't screenshot it so first I kind of figured, okay, this headline's, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt, read in, and then get my own opinion. They're not totally making this up, but whatever. So they had a picture down here. They took it down. It was of a guy who looks like Kwon playing tennis with a big crowd, like a professional-looking tennis player. And then beneath it was a caption, Kwon. So I'm like, oh, cool. Do Kwon, he played tennis at Stanford, or maybe played semi-professional around then. Awesome. So I started Googling it. I don't see anything about him playing tennis at Stanford. I don't see anything about him playing professional junior tennis or anything about him in tennis. So then I Google it some more. It turns out the picture they erroneously posted was of this guy, Soon-Woo Kwon. He's a South Korean professional tennis player, ranked number 75 in the world. That's the picture they posted right here as being Do Kwon. And then they realized their mistake and took it down. So my point is, if a media outlet has a tendency to post sort of extravagant sounding headlines, it's not false necessarily, just take it with a grain of salt, because they can make some mistakes, as evidenced by the Do Kwon tennis era photo. Pretty funny. I wish I'd taken a screenshot of that. Moving on. So, VeChain. This was an interesting news. So VeChain, they have been around forever, since at least 2017. And most of these blockchains from then kind of slowed up. Over the years, they lose momentum. Not VeChain. They're still going strong. $100 million sponsorship deal with the UFC they announced yesterday. Multi-year deal. The VeChain brand logo will be splashed across the floor of UFC fights, on banners, on social media. It will be just all over the place in the live UFC fights. Mostly 100-year deal, $100 million deal for multi-year. They didn't specify minimum 5 year. So $100 million, minimum 5 year. That would be $20 million a year. That seems like around the average annual price tag for the big name sports like this, or an NBA or a stadium partnership. The deal kicks off immediately. This is pretty cool. So yeah, VeChain, they don't really have any sports-related stuff or partnerships in the past, so they're looking to expand their brand, getting in with the trendy, younger sort of sports crowd. That's pretty cool. And it's just great. It's a sort of a ADD sort of industry. Crypto founders, they're successful in one company, they just move on to the other because it's crypto, but not VeChain. It's good for them. The price, it pumped 10% yesterday, and the news gave up some of those gains today, but it did have a positive reaction, so good for them. Cold DAO. So yeah, the big news with them. I don't have confirmation on the day, but I guess the big television appearance with Mr. Modulus or somebody from the Cold DAO team is over the weekend. I don't know which day, but I'm excited for that. It's some business related program. I think I might know which program it is, but there's a couple it could be. I believe it will be an interview style. I believe with Mr. Modulus, but I'm still not sure. No details have been given, but it's exciting. The big question is, if it is with Mr. Modulus, is he going to be wearing a mask? Is his voice going to be distorted? What's he going to be talking about? It's just intriguing. You never know. You never know. So, and then in the past, especially with small market coins, any TV appearance, regardless of even what's said or how well the interview goes, any TV appearance that then gets splashed in the Twitter feed, that does have a positive effect on prices. I have noticed that. So that is good news for Cold DAO there. And then Chain, this was my altcoin pick of the week yesterday, my pick of every 2 weeks. So yeah, they are one of the 3 or 4 top lead sponsors at Consensus. Let me switch screens here. So yeah, they a mainstream tech company. They have sort of been involved in the crypto space for a while. They were bought out by Stellar in 2020, and they are not on the Stellar blockchain. They're on the Ethereum blockchain, but they have loose associations with the Binance Smart Chain, with their CTO used to work at Coinbase. They have a loose association with Stellar because they are owned by Stellar. So they sort of have their hands sort of dabbled in a lot, but they've only had a coin trading for 3 months now. So very few people know them. Ranked 200 in terms of total market cap, $3 billion market cap right now. They are one of the top 3 or 4 sponsors at Consensus. They are sponsoring the sports court here. So there's 4 separate sponsorship areas where all the tables are, and they are the lead sponsor of ones. It's a big deal. Got a bunch of cool giveaways. There's an actual basketball court in the sport court area with the chain name written all over that. That's cool. And then look at this here. Every day they have been doing a 1 BTC giveaway to a fan who wins a little 3-point contest. I mean, in an era where you see all these Twitter $100 giveaways, a 1 BTC giveaway, $30,000 every day of the conference. I think that's 4 1 BTC giveaways. Pretty impressive. Not cash poor, this company. Remember, they are a revenue generating company since they come from the mainstream tech space. To begin with, that's one of the reasons I'm bullish on them. You just very rarely see that. An existing company in a similar industry, not a stretch, a very similar industry with revenues, making a total natural pivot to the blockchain. I'm super long-term bullish on this one. Here's the sponsors. So this table here is huge. If you've ever been to a big conference, usually it's a bunch of tiny tables up against the wall. This is the main table right when you walk into the sport court chain. Their employees dressed in umpire gear there, so it does look like they are looking to get more involved in sports-related crypto companies. They are not involved in any sports blockchain companies at the moment, but it looks like they definitely want to go in that direction, which is good. Maybe we'll hear some partnership announcements with sports-related blockchain companies that they met at the conference. That's usually what happens. I've seen it go 2 ways with this. A lot of times, teams will, at the first day of the conference, they'll make a huge partnership announcement or a huge exchange listing announcement just to get some attention at the start of the conference because people have so many different companies and coins to see. So that sort of draws attention at the beginning. The chain is newer, so they're not going to do it that way. But more common, I've seen tail end of a conference, all the companies there that the teams were networking with turns out to be very productive, and then they make a lot of very productive partnership announcements in the following week. So that definitely, I think, is what Chain is going to be doing here. Now, most people don't know them as of now, so this is sort of their big coming out party that's coming out in a big way, and all the, you better believe they just hired their marketing guy, their CMO 2 weeks ago, so you better believe there's been a lot of productive conversations here, and there should be some pretty big name partnerships announced soon, I would guess. Here's their CMO at the on stage here, speaking how to get a job in crypto. Remember, they have 45 open job postings available on their website right now. And they're not just like posting them there. Some companies just posted there just to have it there. No, they're actively recruiting. Here they were some of the lead people at the getting a job in marketing communications for Ethereum blockchain area. It's like a party after the first night of the festival at a bar here. They were like the main attendee there. They've done a lot of other stuff on their Twitter, just always directing people how to apply for jobs. So in an era where most companies, big exchanges, are laying people off, obviously it's a down market. This company doing the opposite. They just are not cash poor in any way, which is a good thing if you hire correctly, which they are definitely aggressively doing. It appears here they have like a little robot stand set up. It's on the other photo, but it's looks like a little stage there. I can't get to the other photo right now, but it's a little stage where there's some mechanical robots. They're doing a lot of cool things here. This coin is not really like a super retail small cap coin that just pumps one day with a single one announcement that obviously helps the price, but this is much more of a long-term bullish coin. Remember, their vesting schedule is 15 years. I've never even heard of that in crypto. Usually it's 2 years for small cap, 5 years for large cap, sometimes 10 years. I've never heard longer than that, so 15 years. It's another reason to be bullish momentum. And again, as I mentioned yesterday, none of the tokens, not 1% of the tokens in any of their token allocations becomes unlocked for their 10 months, April 2023. So mad bullish on chain. That is it for today. So again, here's my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at BenCryptoShow. I post a couple times a day. Be back on Monday with a new video. Rest up this weekend. Research new material for next week. Everybody have a good weekend. Ben Crypto signing out. Later.